everyone, this is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Suncoast News and Scoop. Today we're talking about pedestrian fatalities in Sarasota County and how they are on an upward swing if you compare them against last year's numbers. The Herald put out this article basically where they talked about a couple individuals reflecting back on last year, and one of them was the Chris and Cindy Common. They basically were out along for a walk along celery fields there. If you've ever seen it, it's about 2 lanes. Not a great place to be walking. But if you live there, that's where you're going to walk. And they took every precaution. They had LED armbands, headlamps, fluorescent shoes, fluorescent shirts. And they did everything they could to draw attention to the fact that they were out there. They ended up getting hit 2 days after Christmas, and both passed away from their injuries. They covered a couple other individuals, a 69-year-old out of Venice man that was hit on Bee Ridge Road back in November, and a Osprey back on New Year's Eve. Individual, I think, if memory serves me right, he was trying to cross 41 or something like that, a 42-year-old, and that individual was fatally killed too. So a lot of incidences, and so far when they ran these numbers, and this isn't the full year, but it's basically through December 2nd, I think, 160 crashes, 17 fatalities, I guess, involving pedestrians or bicyclists. Now, if you compare that against last year was 140, so 20 less in terms of crashes, and 13 fatalities versus 17 for 2021. What 2022 will hold for us, we have no idea. The FHP is just putting out a warning. It was interesting. They said in Florida, which ranks number 2 in pedestrian fatalities nationwide, they logged 697 pedestrian fatalities from January 1 through December 2nd. So it's happening a lot throughout Florida, with Sarasota County being one of the areas where it happens the most. And why is this happening? That's a good question. They, according to the FHP, they're basically, or the Sarasota PD in this article, they're basically saying that individuals they're failing when they'll just start walking across the crosswalk without really looking. Now the law is, hey, if someone crosses the crosswalk, you got to stop. But a lot of times the cars come in, and let's say they're doing a speed limit of 25, 30. That doesn't mean you start walking because you're at the crosswalk, because they may not have time to stop. You see that a lot on Venice Avenue. Stepping out in traffic, wearing dark clothing, not having proper bike lights, standing in the medium, intoxicated, darting out in front of vehicles. Now on the flip side, you do have drivers that are careless. They drive a little out of control. I believe the 2 individuals on Celery Road were struck by a 17-year-old. And so it's not all the bikers and pedestrians. You do have individuals in the cars that are looking at their phones, just driving carelessly, driving intoxicated, whatever the situation may be. There are families out there, like the Commons family, they're calling for heftier fines on traffic violations, as well as increased signage and lighting at crosswalks to ensure what happened to the parents doesn't happen again. Now, I can tell you what they do over in Venice, which is I actually like, is when you go to use a crosswalk, they got 2 electronic devices there. They sense somebody's walking, and they light up the crosswalk, and it really grabs your attention if you're driving. Now, the speed limit there, I think, is only 20, 25, something like that. So you're driving slow, but it does get your attention, and you start looking for the pedestrians. I know in other areas, like driving down by Capri Golf, there's stop signs that have the fluorescent lights all around them, over by the crosswalks, just drawing your attention to the fact that people may be crossing. So innovations like that will always be helpful. Heftier fines and just more awareness. Put the damn phone down. Don't drive drunk. If you're a biker, follow the rules. I can't tell you how many times the bikers will be out there biking, and I come to a stop sign, they just keep ripping right through it. It actually happened today when I was going to surf. I was out there for a dawn patrol session early this morning, and I came upon a guy. I was at a light. It was green, so I started to go, and this guy came whipping out and made a turn right in front of me on his bicycle. Wasn't green for him. He just came out of nowhere right into the middle of the street, and he was all lit up. But, you know, it was a split second where I'm lucky I caught him out the corner of my eye as he was coming across. And that's it. So what are your thoughts? I'm going to put the link to the Herald article down here on my webpage. You can check it out if you want to. This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with the Suncoast News and Scoop.